everybody's duty to save that particular life, you know. And if you look at the people using the mobile phones, because he was talking about the drunken driving, I was always thinking that why not bring something to see that make a restriction on use of mobile phones. People are driving and then people are losing lives. You only see that when the cases are heard in the newspapers, you can't know somebody lost their lives while taking a morning walk. Somebody is using their phone. So I just want to bring to this kind attention to see something is done in this area where you can restrict the use of mobile phones.
Okay, got your point. We'll invite our DGP sir and ex-DGP sir both come on stage for a couple of, say, 5 to 10. Usually it's not my job. So that's where I think that's a very catchy thing I got from this various advices of tendency as well. So I hope we carry that and spread this word to.
There are many instances where I was driving and I would give way to the ambulance passing by because of the habit I have when driving in the US. I tend to move towards the shoulder, and here if I do that, I see that people try to creep across, even though the ambulance was meant to pass through. So this is something which is, as a citizen, I feel that it's my responsibility to go and educate. And it's a common practice when I do that, people try to, think that, okay, mind your own business. This is something which has to get away from the minds of the people. Thank you.
This function, if we distribute 2,000 cards, what will happen? If we have 200 chairs and all 5,000 turns up, what will happen? It's a very challenging situation. Even if your organizers are the best, they'll find it very difficult to organize. Development has two sides. And development sometimes comes with a heavy price also. The purchasing power of Indian middle class has increased so many fold. You know it more than me, that many new apartments which are being constructed in Hyderabad and Bangalore and Delhi, now minimum 4 parking slots are sold in that. You're aware of that. Whereas earlier, one apartment they used to convert the basement into other shops and car used to be parked outside. So all these 4 cars per apartment, night time they are parked, but where are they during the daytime? They are all on the roads. So matching the infrastructure to suit the requirement is a very challenging thing. But when we compare Hyderabad with other cities, I think there is hardly a fortnight in the last, say, 2-3 years, hardly a fortnight where there is no inauguration of either a new flyover or a new road. So, responding to a challenging situation, the urban authorities of our state is more sensitive than any other place in India. In fact, you bring a person who has not visited Hyderabad in the last 10 years or 20 years, and from airport, you bring him blindfolded and open the blindfold here. Will he believe that it is Hyderabad? It is very difficult to believe. So things are changing so fast, things are changing so positively. But yes, these issues are real challenging issues and we have to address, and we are trying. Like, for example, not just cell phone driving, but careless driving, rash and negligent driving, driving without helmet on a motorcycle, without seat belt, triple loading, so many things, coming on the wrong side. Do you know roughly Hyderabad, Cyberabad and Rajkot are the 3 urban agglomeration, the capital region? Put together, every day, more than 1 lakh cases are booked. More than 1 lakh cases are booked. The solution does not lie in enforcement. The solution lies in self-education. In fact, everywhere globally it is called that traffic is a product of 3 E's. Education first, engineering second, and third is enforcement. Education means self-awareness or learning by teaching. So, a person is wearing seatbelt only because there is a camera ahead. Or you slow down the speed on ORR or PV Narasimha Rao Expressway because you know that at this curve there is a camera. Then it is not advisable to blame the police.
It is an absolute debate.
I know. Yes, I do not want to create that kind of awareness. But friends, as I said, that unless and until the cop inside you is alert, everything you should not expect from government and law enforcement agency. Otherwise, what kind of an image and culture we will be generating when we say that entire citizenship list, everyone has defaulted on crime some time or the other. It's not a good society to project like that, isn't it? So the culture change has to come. The culture change is coming, definitely it is coming. Perhaps the speed is slow. The road network is improving, public transport is improving, excuse me, metro is coming, new metros are sanctioned. That way Hyderabad is really lucky that it is expanding 360. Bombay cannot expand 360. The 3 sides there are ocean, isn't it? And reclaiming of land is not so easy. Delhi cannot grow because one side is Haryana, other side is UP. So that way we are very lucky and we are expanding. Now the RRR, the regional ring road is being proposed. All these things is to spread the resources horizontally and not just vertically. So it will happen. Your second issue was with regard to ambulance. Recently, if you remember, I had tweeted about 2 or 3 weeks back. I don't want to name the hospital, but one particular ambulance was using the siren, and naturally all the people, whatever possible, they gave way to it. And then it was found that this driver and his assistant, he goes to a chai shop and was eating mirchi bhaji. So he used the siren or misused the siren for that purpose. So then those hospital authority, they came and they apologized, and then I said that apology is not enough. How do you have a system so that there is an internal vigilance? Don't put everything on police to do the vigilance, because policing is a very expensive subject. Don't expect municipality to clean your own house. You have to clean your own house first. Isn't it? So, this kind of awareness and giving way to an ambulance, it is happening. There is definitely improvement, a lot of improvement. But yes, because the urge inside us is that we want complete transformation. It will take some time, but mind you, all of you have been traveling to various cities. It is improving very fast, and we will be the best in this also very soon. I'm sure about it. Thank you.
And what the government is doing about it. It was very informative. My question is regarding the industry-government partnership that you spoke about a little back, right? So you said that it is still at its infancy. So the question is, what actions can we take? Most of us are here from industry today. What actions can we take on a personal level or even through our organizations to ensure that the partnership between industry and police or government in general can be made better and like in any other developed country? Thank you.
Perhaps the first unit in the country to have a cyber security council. When Sri Mahendra Reddy Garu was CP Cyberabad, it had started during that time. And it brought the industry and the police on one platform. The need was very elementary earlier, but now as the challenges are becoming complex, it is expanding. But still I would say, it is not expanding in the same proportion as the challenges are. Here I would like to mention that in any kind of partnership can be, I would say, it can be of three kinds. If it is a partnership of an industry and a government agency, then sometimes the impression is created that the government agency is the elder brother. That is wrong. I want a partnership in which you should be the elder brother, we will be the Tabu. We have to learn from your experience. And that is why I urge each one of you that every commissionerate has this forum, which is a ready-made forum. You create that awareness, you create that pressure. We are all in a democratic country. And a democratic country, creating pressure, lobbying, it works, isn't it? You create that pressure that yes, this is the need, we want it like this. And if police is not supporting, then you blame the police. All the commissioners are very forward-looking, very positive persons. They would definitely take it up. But you have to put it. I'll allow me to elaborate this. In a canvas of policing or in a canvas of any government agency's work, there are 100 things to be done. From petty crime, from cycle theft to BMW theft, everything is our responsibility, isn't it? I often quote this word, from cycle patrol to cyber patrol, everything is our responsibility. And actually, we are lucky that we have you amongst us. You can identify pinpoint things. You can suggest how to go about it. And we will be there to provide that atmosphere for a better ecosystem. So kindly create that. Apart from that also, if you think you have some more idea, all of you, anyone of you are welcome to meet me or meet any commissioners of police at any time. We would be more than happy to collaborate with you. Okay? Thank you.
And when we report, it will go to the police station.
Allow me to intervene. I would like you to raise, don't speak the number, just raise your hand. You see, this is such an elite crowd and not even 1% is aware of that. That shows that there is something lacking. It is 1930. So when such an elite crowd is not aware of that helpline number, think about the common people. Isn't it? Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
As I rightly put it, when we, that is aligned to the nearest police station, and when we go to the police station, whatever cybercrime we report, one question they ask is, you share the OTP. So here my question is, there are different types of ways a person can be defrauded. How you are trying, are you interested in trying to create an awareness in the police stations about different kinds of frauds that would normally happen in participation, in collaboration with the private? This is my question.
Very right, very right.
Thank you.
Friends, even now, despite of all awareness, very large number of people are cheated because their OTP gets compromised. I know a person who attended a similar workshop interaction and then went home, received a call and was hacked. So it has happened. And then he calls me. And I said, what was that seminar which you were attending? He said, no, somehow it didn't happen. So it's like I give an example. There are some RTC drivers who have driven 10 lakh kilometers. Imagine 10 lakh kilometer driving is not an easy thing. But with such an experience, 35 years of driving, 10 lakh kilometers of driving, can they afford to close their eyes for 3 seconds? Can they? No matter how much experience they have, they cannot afford to close their eyes even for 3 seconds. So same thing. No matter whatever you are, wherever you are, CEO of the biggest tech company, but you cannot be careless for 2 seconds. Isn't it? OTP is OTP. Then secondly, what we call modus operandi, various MO of a crime. There are many, and that is why in cyber world, the MO itself is changing. Earlier in the traditional crime, the MO used to be like breaking the lock, making roof hole, or removing the grill. These were the traditional MOs. Now those MOs are absolutely obsolete. Now the cyber MOs are changing every second week, every third week, new MOs are coming. So it is, if you are aware of X, X+1 has come. If you are aware of X+1, X+2 has come. So it is a very dynamic situation. And that is why I don't think to expect police station to create all awareness, then we will be spending our resources instead of fighting crime in creating awareness. I am not undermining that factor. That factor is very important. But then somebody else also has to share the responsibility. We have a way of creating awareness. We send our team to schools, colleges, everywhere. We make videos, we upload the videos into our social media platform. All those things are there. But you have to also take the responsibility. And that is why somebody said that, yes, what can we do? Some of you can take that also, that yes, I will take care of the social media. I will launch a series of programs for creating awareness to prevent cybercrime. We will be happy to join you. Please come with your innovative ideas. We will suggest we will give you statistics that yes, the last 3 months, this kind of MO is more in Hyderabad. This kind of thing is more among students. This kind of things are more victim are young girls or elderly people. We can sit together and you suggest about certain things, create awareness, and it will help the society. Isn't it? So, together we can definitely do it more effectively. Thank you. The first is intention, that somebody has an intention to do something. The second is preparation, that he starts preparing for it. The third is the attempt, when he moves forward to do something. And the last stage is the commission of the crime. So these are the 4 stages. As per the Indian Penal Code, intention is not a crime. Even if you intend to kill somebody, that's not a crime. It remains in your intention. In some crime, preparation is a crime. Like if police sees you are arranging equipments, and those equipments are used as a tool for commission of a crime, then you will be liable for that preparation. Attempt is definitely a crime and commission is definitely a crime. Now, traditionally, every crime was linked to an area. A court is there, a police station is there, the word jurisdiction comes. Then this is Bandara jurisdiction, this is Madhapur jurisdiction. And every police station is linked to a court where the FIR will be submitted. But the cyber world has broken all these barriers. A person sitting far off in Eastern European country or a village in Jharkhand with just one internet connection and a desktop can simultaneously hack hundreds of accounts and take out money. So there are many things which has happened in this regard. One of the most ambitious things which India has done is the CCTLS, the Crime Criminal Tracking Network Tracking System. This is a very ambitious project which is now a reality. Now we are launching the 2.0 version also of it. It has already been running in various places, where the entire country, the law enforcing agency is networked. The entire data of all criminals of all the state is available. Not only that, more than 38,000 courts, they are connected. So what is happening in the court? What are the convictions? Who are the criminals in what kind of thing? That data is available. Every release from a jail, if tomorrow 5 criminals are coming out from Chachardura, the entire police is aware that yes, these important people are coming out. So they should be a little careful. So many things have happened in the recent time, which has improved our capabilities of enforcement. Similarly, not just within the country, but outside country also, there are Interpol for that. Every state has one nodal officer, which is linked with the National Crime Record Bureau, which is linked with the Central Bureau of Investigation. They are connected with all agencies which interact with foreign countries. And then there are a lot of agreements between two countries agreement, multiple Geneva agreement. So many agreements are there in which we have the right to call for a person when red corner notices are issued, lookout circulars are issued. God forbid, but if your name is in that, anywhere in the world, if you are the moment you are checking in, the computer will pop in that yes, he's needed in India, and you would be detained. So there are many international agreements, and of which India is a part. And every day, I would say, about 100 to 200 people are part from that. So these are the things which are happening in this field. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. One last question, and after that, in the interest of time.
With regard to the coordination between various states, for this interstate, inter-police stations, inter-agency coordination, they call it as the I4C, the India Cybercrime Coordination Center Framework. So it has 7 components. So one is that because since the cybercrime is completely different from the traditional crime, as the DGP has just now told. So therefore, irrespective of the origin from where the offenders are acting, irrespective of the place where the crime is committed, we should be able to coordinate and then map the offenders and then prosecute. So therefore, they established 7 sub-frameworks, including one is a national portal for reporting from anywhere in the country. Every citizen is expected to get into the same portal so that the jurisdictions do not matter. As Anjali has just now told, that common number, that infrastructure has been created for the reporting of cybercrimes, recording of cybercrimes centrally, and also each state-wise they have the call centers for recording of this information and pursuing the offenders. In addition to that, they have also established 7 regions. By placing the teams physically in those 7 regions, including, for example, the Jharkhand area, maybe the Rajasthan, Mewat area. So the places where the intensity of cybercrime is high, they have placed the teams so that they are in the back end and they continuously coordinate with the concerned states, get the data, aggregate it, analyze it, identify the offenders, and motivate the local jurisdictional police forces to act upon against them and ensure that these organized networks are broken. So therefore, there is a comprehensive policy framework and infrastructure in place, but what is required is it needs to be known to each and every one. So the awareness part is more important. And as far as prevention of cybercrimes is concerned, now with the technology like AI coming up, now any such tricking that happens, when the offender is trying to get an innocent citizen to become a victim. If citizen has a way to know whether it is genuine or not, then and there in the real time, maybe that infrastructure would be helpful. But Surendra can always say that even that can be faked, and then, but then we have to keep innovating and then go forward. But today the challenge is for every citizen, whenever he is being tricked, he doesn't really know whether it is genuine or not on the borderline. So we must be able to create a framework and make it accessible to each and everyone to verify in the real time, so that he can respond in a particular way. He or she can do that. That's one. And the second one is that creating one single number, one single portal for reporting all crimes. And the back end, any number of institutions can tackle depending upon the nature of crime, the nature of issue. But as far as the citizen is concerned, one single number like 911 in US or 112 in India, 100 in India, one particular portal, one particular number, if it is made popularized, and whether the crime is committed fully or whether an attempt is made, if that information also can come into this, and by registering each and every such attempt and such crime, we should be able to do much more. And then that's how the Telangana police has taken steps to see that every crime reported is converted into FIR, and that's how we've been able to go after the offenders and get at them. But getting offenders, prosecuting them, it's an expensive affair. We need to look at more and more proactive preventive measures, and that creation of those systems, that infrastructure, and the back-end mechanisms, including the civilian groups, communities like us. If all of us we can be part of such efforts, that would go a long way. I firmly believe that the institutional framework, supported by the awareness, would be able to address this problem on a long-term basis.
Thanks, one last question.
One last question, and it is in cybercrime that we are facing in the state right now, so that all companies like us can come back to you with an immediate solution. And secondly, with the amount of the stressful job, both of you, I know Mahendra Reddy Garu sir had it, and you are currently there on the hot seat. How do you still manage to keep yourself so calm? Because everybody, as a cop, we always remember Singham, you're very aggressive and all of these things, but both of you are calm like a saint here. So how do you still manage that?
What do you see? The thing which is above water is very calm. But what you don't see is what is happening the underwater. The duck has to keep on pedaling for that. So what appears outside may not be true always. You mentioned about what all things we can collaborate. It's a very big subject, and say for example, there are more than, I would say, 50 MOs, modus operandi, which a criminal select how to target their individual. So every MO, number one, we have to launch awareness campaign for common citizen. There is no solution, one awareness that be careful, don't share OTP. It is too old a thing. So every MO requires an awareness among the common people. Then every MO requires training of police officers. We also require large number of police officers. Like yesterday only we had a video conference with all the SSPs and the commissioners on this issue. And all the 9 commissionerates now government has sanctioned police station only for that, where we have every district now, we have at least one DYSP, one inspector who are trained for this work. But then we have to expand this. Ultimately, since the victim of the crime need not only be sitting in Madhapur, he can be sitting in Korupta also. And we have to provide not only awareness but also mechanism to see that our people, the police officers, are trained in that. So that also will require a lot of training module. We also plan to have online training courses where, say for example, in 2 years of time, we want that all police officers who have more than 10 years of service left, first they all should be trained into the basics of cyber investigation. Out of that, we will identify, say, 20% who would be taken to the next level of training. Out of that, another 20% we will take for advanced training. For that, we require a lot of DOT programs. All these things can be done with your help, so depending on your expertise. At the same time, infrastructure facility. Like the other day, we had an interaction session with the professors of BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. Such a beautiful place, everything available, and they were very happy. So, lot of things we are now doing with them. So these are the things which I would request that once we sit at a platform, we divide ourselves into smaller groups, and then we can take it forward about many things which are urgently required. Sir, you will have to say.
Hello. I think this ISC, if they can design a portal and then put all the training programs in place and encourage the institutions, for example, schools, colleges, universities, resident welfare associations, to train their own people. You train only 1 or 2 in each institution, but they in turn can train thousands and thousands. You can attain that multiplier impact. Similarly, the same modules in a different way they can be used for the training of the police officers. So this is one thing, because we are good at it, and the domain knowledge can come from the police, the kinds of modus operandi, the new trends that are happening in the crimes, the dissection of the crimes that are already committed. But then the technology portion and the learning modules portion, if you can pitch in, that would go a long way, and it will be a permanent contribution. If you take up awareness campaign through a workshop, it is one time. But if you create a learning module, it's permanent and you impact millions. So therefore, that will be a noble cause for this August gathering to take it forward. One, I would like to respond with regard to this ambulance and cell phone driving and all these violations. I am a firm believer in the creating proper infrastructure and then the proper systems. And if these two things are in place, which will enforce the law uniformly without any discrimination, then majority of the citizens would follow the law and then they would practice it. So therefore, as a nation, what is required for us is to create this infrastructure and the institutional framework where everybody is treated equally. The law enforcement happens uniformly, irrespective of the background of the citizens. Then the willingness on the part of the citizens would be much more, and the law-abiding nature will improve, and the requirement for the physical enforcement of the police will come down, and also the few people who would violate, it's much easier to get them, the long arm of the law, to catch them and prosecute them, and also act as a deterrent for the rest of the society. So you help us in building these institutions. That also one role ISC can take up, especially in terms of the cyber crimes prevention. It would go a long way. And it's a great effort by the forum here. Madhu and his team, they have done a good job, and I'm sure today's workshop will help us in coming out with these solutions and building robust frameworks in the long run. Thank you.
There are only 2 reasons, or probably 2 prominent reasons for the cyber fraud to happen. One is greediness, the other one is common sense. One having too much, the other one having too less. So our chapter will focus on the common sense aspect of it, bringing that awareness with your support, with your guidance. Certainly, isn't it wonderful to have 2 people who are keeping us safe, secure, feeling us, making us feel that safety and giving us the assurance for many years and many years to come as well. With a big round of applause.
Which is much talked about now, when your face or your voice can be used to speak which actually you have not spoken. Somebody said that perhaps the oldest reference of this was in Mahabharata. When Yudhishthira spoke before Dronacharya, Ashwathama Bhadraviti Gaja, that Ashwathama is killed, the elephant. Very softly that was said. And that changed the course of the entire battle. So I wanted to share that.